morning, bird brains. Out on the Dyna again today. It's not too bad right now. It's only about 92 degrees at this point, which sounds really bad, but considering we're expected to get up to 103 today, I decided to get out early and go for a ride. Question I've been getting asked a lot recently is going to be today's topic, and that is my predictions for the 2019 Harleys. Now, funny enough, we actually went over this specific topic last week on the Between Two Wheels podcast. I'll include a link to that full episode down in the description. Highly recommend going and checking that out. We've been getting tons of positive feedback, and I really enjoyed doing it. So if you want to go and get the full opinion of both myself, Roadblock, and Uncle Ken, go ahead and swing by and check that out. So a lot of talk around the 2019s has been regarding the Livewire. Now, I believe that the Livewire is going to be released in 2019. At least that's what Harley is saying and confirmed. But I don't think it's going to be released in this 2019 release, in 2018. I think it's going to be like a April, May timeframe of 2019. My question, though, is what is it going to be? I know that they've released the concept a while back, and I think that bike looks badass. I think it's gorgeous. But man, I just hope that the technology is right, because if it's not, with Harley's price tag, I believe that thing will fall flat on its face. It's got to be priced right, and it's got to have the right technology in it. I want to see at least 150 mile range, and I want to see it sub 15 grand. I think 15 grand will be pushing it, but I could see people paying 15 grand for that bike just because it's a Harley and it's, you know, one of the first American manufactured or American branded electric bikes, so to speak. But outside of that, what are we going to see this year? So in case you didn't know, Harley did trademark 3 names. Now, these aren't necessarily tied to be bikes, but that's what everyone's speculating, that's what everyone's thinking. Now, the 3 names are the Bronx, the Pan America, and the 48X. Now, obviously, the 48X is probably going to be a bike. If they follow along with the other X models, we're probably looking at suspension and brake upgrades. Probably nothing fancy. Probably maybe a specialty paint scheme or paint color or something like that. But I don't expect it to be anything completely out of the ordinary. Now, the Pan America and the Bronx are what really interests me. One thing that I thought of is the V-Rod. Now, everyone loved the V-Rod. The sales said otherwise, but I think that it was a little bit ahead of its time. I feel like now more people are talking about the V-Rod than when it was actually out and in production. Harley has this habit of taking bikes out of production for a year, maybe 2, and then bringing them back completely redesigned. For example, the Road Glide used to be a hideous monstrosity, brought it back as one of the best looking baggers they've ever produced, in my opinion. Now, when I think Bronx, I think urban, I think tough, I think just super adapted to the street, aggressive. That's what I think of when I hear Bronx. At the same time, that could just be, honestly, I think it's either between a V-Rod remake or a more urbanized Sportster, something like a street tracker, kind of like what I was going to build the Sportster to be. They could maybe some very tall shocks. They kind of did it with the Roadster, but I think maybe they'll just take it a little bit more aggressive. I know we just got a refresh of the Sportsters with the 1200 iron and the 48 special, but that was just paint and parts. I don't believe that was a big enough refresh of the Sportster line to justify it as being a refresh. I think we're going to see big changes in the Sportster line this year. I would love to see a new motor in the Sportsters. They've been using the same motor since '86, but just different configurations. I don't think we'll see it this year, but I think we will see a shrunk down miniature version of the Milwaukee 8 in something like a Sportster frame within the next 2 to 3 years. But we're talking 2019, so I do not believe that we will see that come this year. One thing that I do think that we'll see is either a flat track style or an off-road-ish, like a scrambler style. And I personally think that's where we're going to see the Pan America. A lot of people were saying that they thought it was going to be a touring Sportster because that's one of the bikes that they got rid of recently. And honestly, I could see that happening. I would not be surprised if the Pan America is a touring configured Sportster. But I believe that with the insane amount of press that Indian has gotten with their FTR, both the 750 and the 1200, especially after Travis Pastrana's little stunt, I believe that they have had a bullet in the chamber aimed at that particular market for quite some time now. Now they had the 1200 or the XR 1200 tracker something. I can't remember what it was called, but we saw it at the IMS. It was basically an FTR competitor, but I think we'll see something a little bit more official in that FTR competitor category. And I personally believe that's where we'll see the Pan America. But going back to what I said with the Sportster refresh, I don't believe we're going to see all three of those new trademarks. If they are bikes, I don't believe that we'll see all three of them in 2019. I believe that they'll hold off on some of those until the 2020 release. Reason being, with the Livewire coming out mid-2019, I don't think that they'll want that amount of competition going against their own bike in that same market. As far as the Softails go, I don't really foresee anything happening in that department just because of the giant refresh that we saw in 2018. I don't believe that there's anything that they need to change at this point. The only thing I could potentially see them doing is potentially offering a 114, the Street Bob. That bike is a lot better than everyone anticipated it being, but I think a 114 version of that, putting it still under the price range of the Fat Bob, depending on economics and stuff like that, I'm sure people are crunching those numbers, how it would hurt Fat Bob sales as opposed to selling a higher number of bikes, what that works out to be. But that's an option that I would like, at least, is a 114 Street Bob. Other than that, I think we might see some new colors. I would really, really like to see some just over-the-top colors in both the Softail and the Sportster line. I'm talking lime green, purple, like a bright candy red. All the colors right now are pretty boring. I mean, they're cool. You've got the denim grays and the denim reds, a lot more denim, but I feel like to target that younger market and to just give people a bigger range of expression, I believe that some brighter colors should be in the color palette for this release. I mean, look at the Challengers, man. They sell them in the bright greens and the purples and the yellows all the time. So I would love to see that come over to the Harley market. I would rock the shit out of a purple bike. But at the same time, there's a lot of people at headquarters that want to, keep true to the tradition and keep true to the classics and make our bikes look 150 years old. I get it. Tradition is something that is meaningful, is a part of the company, but at the same time, you got to move with the times, man. You got to branch out and do new things and do new stuff. And then moving on to the big boy bikes, the touring, I really don't anticipate too much happening there. We might see the CVO gray come up again. I would love to have that gray available in more bikes. I feel like that color did extremely well and had a lot of good feedback. But at the same time, I don't know if they want to even release that, because that would kind of take away from the CVO exclusiveness. But the only thing that I really foresee happening in the touring line is maybe some tech upgrades, something like more LED lights, maybe LED turn signals, something similar to like a Rogue Rider Industries or Custom Dynamic style of disc, LED flashbacks and things like that. I don't know how that works with legalities. There might be some states that don't allow those, but that's something that I could see them doing to draw in more of the younger crowd. And then maybe something like some tech that Indian's doing. Indian, I don't know if you've had a chance to check out their touring bikes, but their top level touring bikes, their windshield is adjustable. So literally I could hit a switch on the handlebar and this windshield will move up and down. It's really cool. I think it's a really awesome feature, especially for people who do both touring and city riding. If you're, going around downtown and stuff like that, you don't want this big giant windshield blocking all the wind, so you can lower it down and get some more of that breeze blowing on you. But I don't know how well Indian has that patented or trademarked or what have you, or if that's something that Harley is even interested in participating in. But there you have it, folks. Those are my predictions, at least. I could be completely wrong. I probably will be completely wrong, but just based off of my knowledge, that's where my predictions lie. So let me know down in the comments right now, what do you expect to see come the end of August. Let me know if you agree with some of my statements or if you disagree. I want to know your opinions, guys. Also, in case you did not catch last week's episode, I did announce my partnership with Alamo City Harley-Davidson, so I will be test riding all of the 2019s the day after they come out. As soon as they're able to hit the street, I will be on those bikes making videos, making reviews for you guys to check out. So stay tuned for that. If you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button, turn on those notifications, make sure you don't miss any of those uploads. YouTube has been very wonky lately, so just to make sure that you don't miss those 2019s when they come out, please hit that notification bell. Other than that, guys, that's going to do it for today's episode. If you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button. If you haven't already, go ahead and punch that subscribe button. And as always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.